Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everybody. Coming with Eka Cahaya Prima. I'm from International Program on Science Education. Today, would like to learn about electrical equipment. I would like to introduce you about some part of the equipment, and then how do we use the equipment for simple electricity and magnetism course. Due to the pandemic COVID-19, so we cannot meet together. So that's why I make this video in order to introduce you to learn independently at home how do we know about the working principle of electrical part. Okay, let's go. Okay. Before we are starting the lesson, I would like to here introduce you some part of the equipment that we need at junior high school. The equipment we need, I will discuss it in the video in here. Okay. So what kind of the equipment that we need? We need to learn the electricity at junior high school. So here we are. We introduce you some equipment that are commonly used. So I have here is the name of this part is potentiometer. Yeah, potentiometer. Yeah. So potentiometer was a variable resistor that we can make a variable when we turn here. So the maximum value of the potentiometer is based on the text above the potentiometer. We can see here is 1 mega ohm. Yeah, the name is 1 mega ohm. Some of the interesting part that commonly used in junior high school, we know also here the name is resistor. Yeah, resistor. Resistor, it has a color code. If you want to know the meaning of the code inside the resistor, we can use the application in smartphone. In the smartphone, there is the name is resistor color code. The resistor color code, and we fit the color in here, and we refer to the code inside this application so that we can interpret the code into 1 ohm, 3 ohm, and something else. Or another thing that we can use for measuring the resistance is using a multimeter. This one is the multimeter you can use to measure the resistance. Okay, so let's check out. Okay. Here we would like to introduce you about the multimeter. Yeah, what is the purpose of the multimeter? The name itself, it composed of multi and meter. Multi means we have multivariable. Yeah, multivariable display in this panel. So we can turn this needle direct to the parameter we expect. For example, in the multimeter we have this one is a digital multimeter, and here is a digital multimeter. Yeah, if we turn it on, it display a digital number. Or we can use the analog multimeter. This one is analog multimeter that we can use. In the analog multimeter, also the same part. But sometimes it little bit different feature. But initially common multimeter, it has a voltmeter, and there is ammeter, and this one is ohmmeter. Yeah, voltmeter itself, it has DC volt and AC volt for alternating current and direct current and alternating current. While here we have a more complete multimeter because this equipment also in. Okay. So this equipment also include the capacitance meter. This one is a capacitance meter, and here if we look the sinusoidal curve line, this one here is the symbol for alternating current. While the line here, straight line, it was the symbol for direct current. The symbol of A refer to ammeter, ammeter for direct current, ammeter for alternating current. This one is a voltmeter for direct current, and here the symbol is ohm, so the name is ohmmeter, and this one voltmeter for alternating current. Okay, this one we use it to identify the transistor. Inside, beside this panel, what we have to consider also the probe, because the probe should be connected to the hole. The hole itself, we will like to introduce you here 20 ampere maximum. When we use a 20 ampere maximum, we have to turn the needle into 20 ampere. Yeah, while it we use it for alternating current or direct current, we can use either 20 here in the red, yellow, sorry, or 20 in the white color. Okay, 20 ampere, and then this one is for milliammeter, which means that the red probe, yeah, we have also the banana plug, yeah, here banana plug, and the red color we can put in 20 ampere if we expect to measure the ammeter, or we can plug it into a milliampere. So the turns is vary from 200 milliampere, okay, 200 in here until 2 milli. Okay, so this hole we use it to measure the current, and also the symbol of parallel line. This one here is the symbol for capacitor. Yeah, so we can use it for capacitor, while the comb must be used for the all measurement, especially this probe is for the negative plug. The negative plug we put in the comb, this one, and also the red color we can choose either 20 milliampere or capacitance, or this one is for voltmeter or for ohmmeter. This one is for voltmeter and ohmmeter, like this. Yeah. So please, what we have to consider when we see this number indicate the maximum measurement. The maximum measurement that you want to identify some parameter in electrical device. So what is the procedure? The procedure is you have to identify what kind of the parameter that you want to measure initially. Afterwards, for example, I would like to measure the resistance of resistor like this here. So ohmmeter, yeah, here, yeah. So ohmmeter, we have to direct it to ohmmeter, okay, 200 kilo ohm like this. Afterward, we connect, yeah, make sure all the probe has been plugged it properly. Yeah, so we have comb, so all the black line here should be connected to the comb probe, while the ohmmeter here, red probe depend on the parameter that we expect. It's supposed to be ohm, so we put in the ohm. Yeah. Afterwards, we can start it from the biggest one, okay, and then subsequently we put to lowering. What is the purpose? The purpose is when the real device parameter exceed the maximum parameter that we use in this, it will not break this equipment. So to save it, the equipment, we can start it for the maximum. But we expect here, I have the reference, the value is 270 ohms, so we can see what is the measurement result. So we connect it to the maximum. For example, this one is 2 kilo, okay, and then we connect it here, okay. So what you can see here, the number is 223. So this one, the resistance is 223 or 24. Yeah. So this one is the equipment. So here is resistor. Okay. Another use that we can another application that we can use a multimeter, we can also identify the potential difference. For example, I provide you a battery, this. So the battery, for this purpose, I can connect it across the pole. Yeah, across the pole here. Red refer to positive and black refer to negative. So because we know the battery itself is electrochemical device, so we know the potential difference is direct current. So we refer to direct current, and we can identify the potential difference of the battery by here first checking it, turn it into our expected value, but it's slightly more than this value provided. Afterward, you have to make sure this probe should be connected to appropriate parameter. Afterward, you can check it, this one, okay, here for zeroing function, to make sure that when we connect both probe, it should be referred to 0. Yeah, it's referred to 0. Okay, next, provide your equipment. For example, this one is the battery, and we connect it across the pole, so we can see what's the result. So okay, that's very good. It shows 1.509. Yeah, it's a good result because what the value indicated from this battery is 1.5 volt, and when we measure it by myself, I got 1.508 volt. Okay, it's nice measurement. Okay, this one is we use for the battery. Okay, what is another purpose? We have learned about ohmmeter for this purpose, and we use it for potential difference using V. Afterward, oh yeah, interestingly, we can also measure the potential difference of our home installations. So please be careful on using this equipment. You have to make sure that the setting of this equipment has been put well. For example, in my country, my electrical power, it has 220 volt for potential difference. So we have to put the potential difference exceed the maximum value we have. So we indicate it into 750 volt, okay, because it exceeds 220 volt. Okay, and also make sure that potential difference we use is in AC type, yeah, alternating current type, and also the probe should be indicated to V here, and this one is 2 volt. Okay, so let's check it out. Okay, so I firstly plug it out. Okay, and then we connected both probe into multimeter. So what's the result? I can see it connected directly into this electrical source, and it shows 226 volt. Okay, 225. Okay, the lens is very good. Okay, so here we can use the multimeter to check your electrical device, electrical source at home. So it was the interesting device that we can apply it in the daily life. I expect if you have this equipment at home, so that you can fix some problem that may occur at your house. So it's a good idea, maybe to us as a scientist. So another application that we can use, this one. We can use it for measuring the ammeter. Okay, ammeter itself, the working principle inside this multimeter. The ideal multimeter to measure the current is it should be come to 0 ohm when inside this. So consequently, when you contact it both probe directly, we make a short circuit. Yeah. So be careful. Okay, once again, don't to short current. For example, when we put here this probe directly into the electrical source, it make the short current this, and it will break this equipment. Yeah, and also be careful with yourself also. You can be electrified if you do not understand the principle of the multimeter, you will directly break this equipment, and also it may harm to your body. Yeah, and also some condition will affect during the measurement. For example, your body condition for wet and dry. In the dry conditions, your body has a high resistance, so you have a low risk to be electrified. So why we have, for example, firstly we pour the water toward your hand surface, and you directly contact with the electrical device. It will be harmful to your body because you have a tendency to be electrified, because the resistance of your body will be decreased. So it makes us interesting. Okay, I have the interesting discussion because we know our body itself, it has also the resistance. This is just a joke, but we can implement it in daily life. Yeah, what will happen when you think something, and we see how the electricity apply in your brain. We can take it by turning the needle here into the maximum value, 200 mega ohm. Afterward, don't forget to put the probe into volt or ohmmeter, and this one negative to the comb, and we can see what will happen when we contact it across my head. So I contact across my head. Oh, interesting! Look at it, show the value. Yeah, they show the value here. When you think it differently, make it the slower here. Will it show the value? Okay, it's still bigger. Okay, here. So this one, when I think something, oh, it show a different. It changed the value. What does it mean? It means that there is a current pass through your nerve in your brain. So you can identify it. The evidence we can see from the multimeter. Okay, next. This one we use it for multimeter. Yeah, we use this multimeter. And secondly, what we can see, would like to train you the way to measure using the analog multimeter. Analog multimeter, we have to consider the maximum and the minimum. Look at the working principle was different for voltmeter, okay, ammeter and ohmmeter, because from the display, the zero value for voltmeter and ammeter, it start from the left side. It shows from the left side, this one, but for the ohmmeter, okay, the 0 point is started from the right side. This one is for ohmmeter, started from the right, but voltmeter and ammeter, it start from the left side. This, yeah, interestingly, right? Okay, we continue our discussions about analog multimeter. Yeah. So previously we discussed about the 0 point of the measurement using ammeter, voltmeter, and ohmmeter. Now we'd like to train you how to check the ohmmeter, whether it work or not. We can put it turn into the buzzer. Yeah, look here is the buzzer. Buzz means buzzer. When it show the sound, it means that the wire was connected. Yeah, so they're connected. Yeah, connected. Okay. Next, we can use this equipment, the same example as I provided you using a digital multimeter. I will use it for analog multimeter. Analog multimeter, as we know, the battery itself is direct current part is 25, 2.5. I put there is no choice, okay, for the probe. So all the red hole here should be plugged by a red alligator, red wire, and this one for black wire. Okay, continue. So we direct the needle into 2.5, okay, and we connect the same thing. Because the maximum is 2.5, we can refer it to the value to make you easy to check. Sync 250. Yeah, 250 over 100, it will be 2.5. It's similar, right? So we can connect the battery. Okay, the probe across the battery, and we see the value. Look at the maximum is 250. It shows 150. 150 over 100 it should be 1.5 volt. Okay, good. Okay, this one, and here is the principle of multimeter. And also we have also the interesting terms in analog multimeter. In analog multimeter, we have also this one is the turns. So we can adjust it to zeroing when we direct it into ohmmeter. So when take it into ohmmeter, while the needle should refer to a 0 in right side. So it should be 0 in the right side. Okay. If it do not refer to the 0, we can turn this. Turn. So we can adjust it into close to 0. Yeah. Okay. Adjust it close to 0 here. Okay. So this is the example. So we can use this turn. We can adjust the needle close to 0. So when I use it to measure, for example, this one is 1000 kilo ohm for the maximum. You can see 1000 kilo. Previously we have proved using digital multimeter that this resistance is 220. So we can use the analog multimeter. So what is the measurements? Okay. Check it, it's supposed to be 0 at first. So okay, and the maximum is 1 kilo, so we can check this. Okay, look at it, show the value, right? Okay, so it's 100, you can see. Look at 220. Yeah, 220. Look, the maximum is 220. Yeah, so we have proved it using this. So this one is times by 100. Yeah, so when it direct into 2.2 means 2.2 times 100. Yeah, so we use this. Okay, and it show 2.2 times 100. Yeah, okay, so it was not easy to make it constant. It's I think in my side that we prefer to use digital multimeter, yeah, for the exact source. Okay, another thing in our presentation today, we would like to introduce you about the part of the electrical equipment. Okay, now we have learned about how to use the multimeter. In the end, after you have used this multimeter, don't forget to turn it off. Using the power, turn it off, so it will save the battery as well. Okay, continue. Another discussion that we can use is here is a resistor. Yeah, we know this one is a resistor. Okay, some interesting device in our curriculum. We have learned about RLC. Resistance, and then inductor, and then capacitor. So have you seen it previously? Okay, now we will show you. Okay, R here for resistance, and then L for the inductor. Okay, L for the inductor, and I have also this symbol. We can draw the symbol like this. This one for resistor, this one the same for the inductor. Okay, and I have the capacitor. This one is capacitor. Can make this capacitor. RLC. RLC. Interesting, right? So how can we know the store? How large the capacitor we have? Okay, this interesting feature inside the capacitor. It has a different tail length. Look at the tail here is longer, while this one is shorter. Okay, don't forget the longer tail, it should be connected to positive, and this one to the negative side. Okay, this one to negative. You can see the color here show negative, negative, negative. Okay, the size of the capacitor, it was included in this label. For example, this capacitor, it has 4700 microfarad. Okay, the unit is farad. Okay, the unit is farad. Okay, the unit, this one is ohm. Okay, this one is Henry. Okay, and also another inductor. We have a different type of the inductor. Where I put this? Oh, here. This one also the inductor. Okay, the color is green. Okay, but it's still the same inductor. Okay, this one capacitor, and also capacitor has a different shape. The bigger size, look at, it show a bigger. Okay, look at, okay, the size. This one, oh, it was similar. Okay, but the size was different physically. Okay, and we have also this. Okay, this one is ceramic capacitor. Okay, ceramic capacitor. Here also ceramic inductor. Okay, put this. Okay, but here is a variable resistor. Variable resistor. Okay. Another device that we want to introduce you. Okay, look here. This one is transistor. Transistor. Okay. The symbol will be here. Okay. Okay. Inductor, transistor has 3. Okay. Okay. And then we have the switch here. Switch, yeah. Switch, yeah. Look at center, it a mass. Okay, where we can select right side or left side. It should be turn on and turn off. Okay, it varies. Okay. And we have also the LED. LED means light emitting diode. In LED itself, it has a different tail. Look at, yeah, longer tail connected to positive, shorter tail connected to negative. Yeah, LED, make a symbol of LED here. Okay, and this one for the switch. Okay, next we have a generator. Okay, or vice versa, it can be used as a motor. Okay, motor or generator. Okay, it depends on the principle. Firstly, if we connect it to battery, it will move here, rotate, creating a motor. Or we can put vice versa, connected this to a multimeter, okay, and you turn it from the external source, it will behave as generator. Okay, and this one is sound. We can connect it across the probe here. Look at 1 and 2. Okay, positive. This one is negative. Okay, it will hear the sound. Okay, and we can set your own frequency. Okay, some equipment that can be added into this sound. Okay, we can add, for example, Arduino, and you can make a tone. You can sing a song and type it. Okay, the program in your laptop, so you can hear the song. Okay. And this fuse at home. Okay, fuse. Inside there is a wire. The wire will be burned and it will be cut when it exceeds the allowed current. Yeah, when it flow the current, it make this fuse warmer. When it's warmer heat, and it will be cut. Yeah, to save the electricity at home. Okay, some modern device we use here. Okay, MCB we call it in Indonesia. Okay, it's like the same switch, but it has the maximum current allow. This 2 ampere. Okay, 2 ampere of current allow. Okay, from this switch. So if we exceed, it will directly turn off. Okay, like this. Okay, this one is switch, and we use it in front of your house. And this one is, okay, bulb. Yeah, conventional bulb. Okay, and we use it as the port of the bulb. And here, interesting, light emitting diode. Yeah, light emitting diode. What is the purpose of the light emitting diode? Light emitting diode means that the resistance is depend on the light intensity. Yeah, if we make such as here, okay, this one is okay, the light intensity, and this one is the resistance. Yeah, it make the curve. It make the curve. This one is the curve resulted by okay. Okay, what I meant here, photoresistor. Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, the name is photoresistor. Okay, not the LED. Yeah, this one is a photoresistor. And here is the graph resulting from photoresistor. We can measure it by yourself. Okay, next we have also the temperature sensor. Okay, this one is LM35. Yeah, okay, the temperature sensor, so it will change the resistance depend on the temperature. Okay, another equipment we have also this servo. Servo is look like your arm. Okay, it has a torque when we connect it into the electrical source, and it can turn like your arm. Similar, we can make some project from robot. We can install some woods connected each other, creating the robot, so I can use it to make a robot. Okay, this one, and also here is a transformer. Yeah, transformer. I have a transformer. What is the function of transformer? Transformer is to transform the potential difference. It could be a step up and step down. A step up means it elevates the potential difference from lower to higher, but a step down is from lower to from higher to lower. A step down. What is the purpose? Sometimes this transformer we equip with adapter. So inside the adapter we equip by transformer, so it can transform lower potential difference from the electrical source at your home 220 into 5 volt to be used as USB potential difference. Okay, so this one is used for transformer, and look here different. Okay, in the transformer itself, this one is 0 connected to 0, 100, okay, 100, 110, 120, 220, and 240. Okay, look at another side. Okay, see here. Okay, for the black wire, but another we connect it red. Okay, we can choose. Okay, either 18, 15, 15. Okay, we can connect it. Okay, so this one from primary, and here secondary, or we can put it different. If the primary bigger than from a secondary, it will be step down. Okay, it will be step down. But when here we put in different side, here it will be step up. Yeah, this one is for primary. In the lower potential difference, it will step up into 220. But please remember, the current type should be alternating current. Yeah. The material inside this one, it use paramagnetic device. Paramagnetic device means the magnetic field will not be stored. Yeah, the ideal transformer, it will not store the magnetic field. Yeah, so we can elevate the efficiency by maintaining the temperature. The temperature during using this transformer we keep in the cold conditions, so the efficiency will be higher. Okay. And we have also the sliding rheostat. This one, it's the same as potentiometer. We can slide it, so it will vary the resistance. Yeah, as you slide it. The way of the connection, you can connect it through one wire, and another wire connected to here. Okay. And this use it as a coil wire for electromagnetic applications. We can turn the coil. When you turn the coil like this, so it will behave as transformer, and we can generate of the generator. Please remember the coil, okay, here was covered by insulator. So insulator must be peeled previously, so we can meet with the conductor inside. So conductor can be found when we peel this coil cable. Okay, and we have also the power source here. Power source, this is for DC, okay, and here for AC. Yeah, I want to connect it. Just plug it in. You plug in this, okay, and choose the wire here connected in order to generate the AC. This one to put DC, and we can turn, okay, our expected value of the potential difference. Okay, finally, for electrical applications, sometimes we use this breadboard. Breadboard will be used for the prototype. Yeah, for the prototype project, we can use a breadboard because it's solderless. You can directly put, and remember, this one is the pattern. When you uncover, it will show these patterns. This pattern. So if you put this side, for example, this vertical for 1 coulomb, okay, horizontal for second coulomb, second group coulomb, horizontal for the third coulomb, and vertical again. Okay, so both sides, okay, for each edge it's vertical, while the middle show horizontal. When we put here, there is a wire, okay, inside. Okay, there is a conductor inside, so we connect it here. If both equipment set in the same horizontal here, okay, both leg, yeah, it has been connected. Okay, while this one we want to connect, it should be put vertically. Vertical, okay, it will be connected. Okay, connected like this. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. We still have one equipment. The equipment that can be used for you is power source. I will show to you here. This one is the power source. The power source, remember, please look in detail. Power source, it has a positive and negative. Positive, connect it into a red line, and negative to blue line like this. Okay. And what is the functions? It will power up. It will power up this line. It should be here negative, positive, negative, and here positive. Okay, we connect it into the battery. We can seek the battery or another power source. Okay, so now I have the battery, 9-volt battery. We have to provide it at home, and we connect it. Okay, these connections we can buy online. It's no worry, it will be easy to check. Okay, we connect it. The way to turn it on, just push. Okay, this switch, it will turn on the indicator. We can see the LED will glow, and also we have the jumper, both sides. The jumper indicate 5 volt for this set, and this one also for 5 volt or another set. We can switch this potential difference, okay, switch into another side. So this power will provide 3.3 volt. Okay, also the same side here. In another side, we put the jumper in a different place. It shows 3.3 volt. Okay. Interestingly, how it works. For example, I have the LED. I connect it across the potential difference here. So what will happen? Okay. So look, it's interesting, right? Because it will glow. But please remember, the LED itself, the connections, it should be a long leg, yeah, connected to positive, and short leg, okay, here connected to negative. Yeah, we put here into the hole, so it will glow. Vice versa, what will happen? It will break the LED. and also occasionally we can see here the light will not glow, okay, but in here it should be glow, okay, but we put in different side, it will not glow because LED itself is diode, so diode will trap the current from another side. It will allow the current in this side. Look at, I have the real diode, okay, and also this is the symbol of the diode, okay. Look at, there is a line in here, okay, so diode will, okay, allow the current from the left to right, but it's stop the current from another side, from right to the left, okay, from the left to the right. It allow, but it's not allow, because inside this LED we have the PN junctions, PN based on the semiconductor. So diode is composed of semiconductor, and semiconductor also one side it rich electron, but another side it's poor electron. So sometimes if the electron was supplied to the rich side, it will not receive by the material, okay. So that's why diode just allow the current in one side, okay. Okay, thank you very much for our discussion today. We will continue our discussions in the following video. Okay, thank you, and don't forget to subscribe. We have a Prima Edu channel, yeah, Prima Edu channel. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.